Scientists are uniquely undivided in opinion about reading books. Reading is far more valuable and developing than any other activity that a child can choose for entertainment. Television, computer games, and even toys will never affect a young person as much as a book. So how do we therefore encourage our child to read? Hi, my name is Sophie, and you are watching Practical Parenting, a YouTube channel established to inspire you to become a better parent by promoting intimacy parenting and a non-violent upbringing. Once a week, you will find an animation on an interesting educational topic. If you are interested in these matters, subscribe to our channel. There are so many benefits of reading and cannot be compacted into one sentence. Specialists emphasize the impact of reading activates competence in the following 5 areas of the mind: communication, concentration, emotions, rest, and intelligence. Several areas of the brain are active at the same time. This includes the center's responsibility for vision, language, and concept acquisition. Perhaps most importantly, books develop your thinking. While reading, you cannot allow yourself to be distracted. Books provide an opportunity to stop, reflect, and think about what has been said. In this situation, you cannot mindlessly stare at the screen, which is opposed to watching the TV or a computer. Because reading books has so many benefits, attempt to convince your child to pick up a book. Although it is difficult to convince your child if you yourself have not picked up a book in this last year. So how do you change a child's habits, encouraging them to read in the evenings as opposed to staring at a phone screen? Number 1. Start by reading yourself. Your child learns the most by observing their parents and following their lead. They learn from you in regards to pronouncing specific words in different situations. They learn to say hello when meeting another person, but they also see their father doesn't eat vegetables with dinner, so neither will they. Reading books can be compared to maintaining a healthy diet. If, while sitting down at the dinner table, the parents only have pieces of meat and potatoes on their plate, it is hard to require that the child themselves eats a portion of vegetables. Every toddler or adolescent will notice that something is wrong. Why should they eat carrots and broccoli, and Dad, who is a model of strength and fortitude, only eats meat himself? A child's first thought is that if they want to be as big and strong as their father, they have to imitate him and eat like him. Hence, bad eating habits always affect entire families. This is the same situation with reading as it is with the pork chop for dinner. Children, following their parents' example, spend their free time in the same way as they do. For example, watching TV, sitting on the computer, and browsing colourful content on their mobile phone before going to sleep. Why don't they read books? Because without an example at home, they are not aware that they can spend their free time this way. If you want to encourage your child to read, yourself as the parent have to show them how fun books are. Children will watch their parents and imitate them, just like any other activity. You just have to lead by example and reach for the bookcase yourself rather than the phone. Number 2. Read to your baby while they are still in the womb. Reading to the belly is not just an invention of Hollywood stars. From the 4th month of pregnancy, the baby begins to perceive sounds from the environment. Of course, they do not hear everything as people talking to each other. They do not recognize words because they do not yet know human speech. However, there are factors more important to this, which make reading to the belly a very important activity in building future parent-child relationships. Reading to an unborn baby familiarizes them with their parent's voice. Therefore, it is important that not only mum reads, but also dad and maybe older siblings. Specialists also say that talking to the belly is not enough. They suggest reading on top of this. While in the womb, the child learns to recognize emotions in addition to the voice. Reading books, especially fairy tales for the children, will make you calmer and your voice warmer. Moreover, a child who has listened to specific fairy tales in the womb will in some way prefer these already familiar stories after birth. This can be very helpful when calming your child down or relaxing them before going to bed. Number 3, read regularly to your child. If you want to ensure that when your child gets older, they read regularly on their own, you need to show him or her early on in childhood that books are fun. What's the easiest way to achieve this? By reading aloud to your child. It is important to read to them regularly. It will be helpful to establish a specific time that you will spend with your child and with the book. It will be easiest for you to find time, probably in the evening. For this reason, many parents practice bedtime reading. Reading before bed has far more benefits than just instilling the habit of reading. It is also a great way to calm your child down before going to bed, which will allow them to have a good night's rest. Watching TV in the evening or playing games on the phone or any exposure to blue light leads to sleep disorders. Evening reading is also a great way to spend parent-child time, which strengthens bonds and builds relationships. This moment just for you and your child spent with a book is really a very valuable time. Number 4, introduce books from an early age. It is important to make your child accustomed to the presence of books in their life from an early age. There are special picture books for children, even who are several months old. There are so many options for older children, from intricate illustrated books through to foldable 3D books. There are even interactive books operated by a magic pen. The choice is huge, and there will be something that will truly interest your toddler. Show your child that a book doesn't have to just be written text. Make them curious about the diversity of literature. Additionally, it is also worth showing the child the alternative uses of books. Use them to build a maze, an obstacle course, or even a dollhouse. The most important thing for the child to naturally surround themselves with books from an early age. Number 5, a book is always a great gift idea. As mentioned in one of our previous videos, which I linked down below, if you have no idea what to buy for your child's birthday or Christmas present, the best answer is always books. It is a timeless and appreciated gift. This will allow you to easily fill your child's bookcase. There are also many series of books available in bookstores. A book will always be a more appreciated gift rather than another plastic toy that will be thrown into the corner after an hour. Number 6, choose the subject matter according to the age and interests of the child. Can you guess the most common reason children report when asked why they don't read books? It is because the literature provided by the parents or the school is simply uninteresting. I was speaking to some of my friends and discovered that they did not read books during their childhood. Only at the age of 10, when someone gave them some interesting literature, they were surprised and started to read. Until then, they were not aware that books could be engaging, moving, fun, or interesting. These books, which they started to read, evoked feelings opposed to the dry books which they were forced to read at school. Besides the books which they were given, there is a whole world of other interesting books. It is important to teach and encourage your child to read properly and to choose a book according to the age of the child. Parents often feel that their child is much more mature than they are and can read books which are made for older children. Maybe they introduce books which are not so interesting to the child. It is also worth paying attention to the size of the letters and pictures. Interesting illustrations can be a great advantage of a good book. Also remember that it is worth evolving with the times. Sure, everyone should know that some classics of literature for children or teenagers. However, the archaic language, problems completely unrelated to today's world, and the plot of places from several decades ago are not particularly encouraging for a child to read. At the beginning of your book adventure, try to choose something modern for your child, with a fast-paced plot and simple language. Show that reading is fun. This is probably the key point to getting your child to read all the time, showing that literature can be fun. Key, but also the most difficult, It's hard to encourage reading in today's world full of colourful television, computers, and telephones. It is possible, however, as statistics show that every year more and more people read books. Wishing you lots of parental love and close relationships with your loved ones, I thank you for your attention and invite you to discover Practical Parenthood. If you are not yet one of the subscribers of the channel Practical Parenting, please click the subscribe button and wait for our next animation.